Gods, leave us. Do you dare defy and question your god?
I can't break my image as their god. Don't bother trying to get out of these chains. It won't matter anyway. The portal's already nearing stability as we speak. And soon, we'll be able to cross over. You think I'm planning to take over your world? Oh, no. I have something much more special in mind than some expansion plan. Despite my yellow skin and misty aura, I am not what everyone thinks I am. When I first woke up, I found myself in a horrid world, vast and evil. The things I saw people did to each other. All I could see was nothing but blood and suffering. Helk, they called this world. Almost everyone I saw either had horns, tails, extra legs, even different pigments of skins and scales. And some of them were being sold for heads. The currency, not actual heads. My first meeting with one of them? Barely escaped with my life. Since then, I tried to avoid them as much as I could, scared of what they would do to me. I was able to for a few days, but because I was giving off a colorful yellow aura, some vicious animal found me and attacked me. That thing would have bitten into my shoulder, but that same aura protected me like an outer shell. And that's not all. As that animal gnawed on my essence, I felt a sort of connection with the beast. I knew its wants and desires. It felt nice, relaxing. As if we became one. No, as if the creature became an extension of myself. As if I had another limb. But there was a limit of how much of the creature I could control. At most, I could only influence it. It took forever to convince the thing to completely obey me. I then spent the next few weeks cautiously going my way around Helk, trying to survive as I gained followers. And that's when I found the ruins. But they weren't just any old ruins. I found them so familiar for some reason. And then I realized this world was the result of Project Phoenix Ashes. The result of Dr. Drake's desperate hope for the better. Sure, our world had problems, but we could have found a way to fix them if we had time. Unfortunately, he didn't feel the same. We already had time, he said. We ran out of it, he said. It's too late to fix anything, he said. I argued that we could still save our world, or at least give it more time somehow. Of course, Drake wasn't convinced. That's when he decided to launch Project Phoenix Ashes. I didn't know what it was at first. He explained that he and a few others secretly worked on a machine that would refresh the air, renew the planet. A worldwide reset button. It sounded great at first, but the more I listened, the more he described it, the more concerned I became. It would wipe our world clean, and the ones who emerged from the aftermath would do better than we would. His words, not mine. He called it salvation. How can it be salvation if it'll wipe everyone in the world out? It was more like a doomsday device if you ask me. We came to a disagreement as he typed in the commands. That disagreement turned violent. I beat him, but I was too late. He'd already pushed the button and set it off. We were soon caught in the blast of light at point-blank range. Which leads to now. That idiot destroyed our world, thinking the ones who'd come after would do better. This is not better. The weird thing is, no one apart from me had any memory of their lives before the wipeout. I don't know why I'm the only one who remembers. Still, it doesn't change the fact that this world has become nothing but a broken memory. But half of that machine was still here in pieces. With it, I can fix this. I can fix everything. So I decided to rebuild the machine that caused the wipeout in the first place, to make it work again, but more controlled. It wasn't much, but with my words and power, I was able to push my way to the top, gain more hands to do the dirty work for me, promising them a powerful future of paradise where they can rule. Whether in capturing those with useful abilities for me, or retrieving tools and components to modify the little project. Even my mutation got stronger. Honestly, I was getting tired of getting my aura drunk. Now, I can directly put it into their minds. The side effects weren't pretty for them, but I couldn't argue with the results. It didn't take long for a plain, powerless man like me to become Tesei Drakur, god of all of Helk. And as a god, I had unlimited access to all the resources in the world. However, even with unlimited access, the resources themselves were limited. My plan would have taken years, maybe decades to complete, maybe never at all. Until 2 years later, we picked up an energy spike, the likes I haven't seen since the wipeout. I sent my forces to the area, and about an hour later, they brought back 5 strangers into my throne room. I interrogated them, and surprisingly, they were cooperative in giving information. And what they told me had me very interested. An exploration team trying to map out the entire world, finding ruins of what sounded a lot like a research facility, judging from their description. And what got my full attention was they found parts of a certain machine. A machine that they accidentally activated and brought them here. The more I listened, the more I realized these strangers were different from everyone else. Native not of Helk, but a completely different world entirely. And the other half of Project Phoenix Ashes were there. Another world. Another result of the wipeout, filled with resources ripe for the taking. It had everything I needed and more. So I took control of 3 of them and sold the other 2 off. And for the next 10 years, I've been ordering my followers at the site to work on managing a stable portal to cross into the other world. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to stay stable long enough for me or my followers to cross over without stranding us, and risking cutting off my connection. Without the other half active, we could only keep it open for so long and send only 1 person through. And who better to send other than the leader of the very exploration team that found it in the first place? Say what you will, but I don't care how long it takes. I don't care who I'll have to use to get it done. After all these years, it will all be worth it. Earth will live again, and it will only cost this world and yours. And I will make sure no one will stand in my way. Not even you, Kid Shadow.